upon returning from Croatia. So of course I am wearing the Jet 2 t-shirt. Just here. I love Jet 2. So, but yeah, it was an enjoyable holiday. Like I say, I've got plans for next month. I intend to go over to Benidorm at the end of June. Probably the last week of the month, because I've got overtime at work, so that's going to have to happen first. I have been looking at a few hotels over there. There's one that's kind of in the middle of the... it's in the Levante end of Benidorm, but it's very close to the old town. It's actually in the middle. So it's on Cal Lepanto, which you go down to get to the Benidorm strip at the bottom, the British area, and then the other direction takes you to the old town, but it's in the middle, this hotel is. So you're actually closer to the old town than the other end, which I would much prefer, and it's literally straight across from the beach. So I'm thinking about it, because if I go there, at least I can walk to one of the zoos, i.e. the Mundamar one, because it's walkable. It's about 20-30 minute walk, if that. So it will save me a taxi. But for Terra Natura, I would need a taxi because it's out of town, but I don't mind that at all. So that would probably set me back about €24 in total. That's 12 each way. And then obviously there's a ticket to pay to get into the zoo, which will set me back nearly €30. But again, I could always pre-book it online, or I could book it through Jet2 and then take the ticket with me, and then at least all I've got to do then is pay for the taxi. But with Mundamar, it's walkable, so I can go there, and then on the way back, probably call into Benidorm's answer to Greg's, where the map master likes to go. I can have something to eat in there, sandwich and a cup of tea, because they do tea there, English tea, it's brilliant. And you literally can sit there and watch the world go by, and I can nip down to Matteo's bar, go and have a beer in there, walk past the Sol Pelicanos, get some more photos and video down there, plus Uncle Ped's, plus his Morgan's Tavern. So I can go all down that area, and then just spend the next day really in the old town. But I'll end up going down to the old town every evening anyway, because the option I'm looking at is not going half board to this hotel, but to go bed and breakfast. Because at the end of the day, there's loads of places to eat in Benidorm, especially down the Levante side, because it's like British side. So you're going to get your British food, aren't you? Fish and chips, your curry. You can even go for a curry, you can go for a Chinese. You can go for what you want. I'm quite happy to go to Sherry's Bar and have some lunch in there, or something to eat in there. It's pricey, but it's nice quality food. But at the end of the day, the plan is to go over there to basically do these zoos, to go to Mundamar and go to Terra Natura, which will also break it up before I go on the cruise in September. So that's the plan. And in line with the video I did yesterday, on my final episode of the Dubrovnik series, which is now complete, I just need to put the individual videos on. I'm still syncing the photos and videos off the phone. There's not many more to go. But once I've done that, I'll be uploading the individual videos, and I'll put a few photographs on Instagram as well, which I have done, because it was nice to actually get to sit in the cockpit of the plane with the captain and the pilot as well. So that was a nice experience, but I did ask permission. So it wasn't because I was wearing the Jet 2 shirt, oh, he can go in there because he's wearing the shirt. I did actually ask on the flight at East Midlands if it would be possible to go and sit in the cockpit with the pilot at the end of the flight. And they said, well, yeah, you can when we've landed, I'll go and ask. So when we landed in Dubrovnik, the cabin stewardess went and asked, and then I got allowed to go in with the captain and the pilot, and I got to sit in the captain's chair and hold on to the control, just pretending to fly the plane. I didn't touch any buttons or anything because they tell you not to, which obvious reasons. I just stayed in position, and they just took a photograph of me. So that was a nice experience to go in there, and I asked them a few questions about the plane, how they land and take off, what speed they get to when they take off, how they lift off the ground, how they lower the landing gear. There's loads of things to learn in there, trust me, and there's loads of buttons and switches all above your head, and you're thinking, whoa. But they obviously know how to control the plane and how to fly it, because they're qualified. But it's nice to just go and sit in there and just enjoy that experience. So it was nice to do that on my outbound trip to Dubrovnik. But the weather was glorious yesterday when I left there. I mean, I landed back to sunshine as well. I know it rained in the night, but I left glorious weather. Had a bit of rain in Croatia, but I did take my poncho, and I got my cagoule, but I wore the poncho because it's lighter. So, but for Benidorm, I definitely will not need that, because I've looked at the weather for Benidorm for the next few days, and it's pushing 32 degrees. So because we're entering June at the weekend, it's going to get even hotter. As they say in Spain, it's scorchio. I mean, I've read online as well that it got to almost 40 degrees the other day over there. That is diabolical. But I have been in that heat before because I've been in Croatia in that heat, so I do know what it's like. But I would make sure that I go to plenty of bars that have got air conditioning. And I'd stay out the sun as much as possible. But if I'm going to go and do the zoos, particularly the Mundamar one, and I'm going to walk down to it, I would rather go in the morning when it's a little bit cooler, because once it gets to 11, 12 o'clock, that's when it's hottest. So I'd want to get there early morningish, around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So after breakfast, I would go straight there. I'd literally leave the hotel and walk straight down to it, which might take half an hour, but that's fine because I can do some videos and take some photographs and just take a leisurely stroll down to Mundamar and then go and spend half a day in there, because you don't need a full day in there really, because once you've watched all the shows, that's it. Because it's the same, they repeat the shows 2 or 3 times during the day, so if you miss one, you can go and watch one a bit later. But I wouldn't want to spend more than 4 or 5 hours in there, but I tell you what, it is worth it. It is worth going in. So, and they did film parts of Benidorm in there, the series, and at Terra Natura as well. But Terra Natura, you need a full day up there because it's a zoo. It's a large zoo, not as big as the Chester one, but it's a biggish zoo, and there's lots of different animals, reptiles, poisonous creatures to go and see. I have been before, but to actually go and do a YouTube series and do a live stream in there will be interesting, particularly, but also most of all in Mundamar because of the sea lions and dolphins show that they put on, and also the exotic tropical birds that they put a show on as well. So that's the reason I want to go over there. But I will try and get back to Chester Zoo, and of course go to Pate Wildlife Park again. I'll also go to Twycross before the pass runs out in August. And of course I will go to the Who Zoo, and I'll get in touch with them at some point and ask about doing another capybara experience, because the one I did in March, which I booked, didn't really get me money's worth because the capybaras wouldn't come out their enclosure, they wouldn't come out of their home where they were sitting, so I couldn't feed them, they didn't interact. So Will, the owner, basically said, well, you can come back free of charge to do it, just drop us an email and you can come back for free. So that's what I'll do, and maybe in June. If not, I'll do it in July, but I'll definitely be going back to the Who Zoo before I go on the cruise and try and get the capybara experience done and actually do it properly and get close to them, and I'll get plenty of footage. So not that I don't video them anyway, but it'd be nice to actually get up close to the famous one. But yes, that's the plan for the next few weeks. I'm obviously going to be back at work in the next day or two, so I've got that to deal with. Plus Dad's had his operation, or having his operation this afternoon, so again I don't know what the outcome of that's going to be, we'll have to just wait and see. But that's the plan for June at the moment, to probably even do another walking series in Dimmingsdale. I'll definitely be doing Twycross and Peak again round here at some point, but I'll be planning Benidorm for next month, so I will update you all on the channel. I will do a video to announce it, where I've booked. I'll obviously go from East Midlands, and I'll park there like I did for this holiday just gone, but I'll try and use short stay, because I prefer short stay when I go on mini breaks, and use the other car park, Midstay 3, which is next door, to do a longer holiday. But if I can't get a space on short stay 3, then Midstay is literally a stone's throw away, and you can walk through all the car parks. There's paths all the way through, so it's not difficult to do. But, and also at the end of June, all the kids will be back at school, so it'll be quieter. It's half term at the moment, it's bank holiday just gone. So it was fairly busy when I went to Croatia last week, but it was relatively quiet yesterday. So, and it was brilliant at Dubrovnik Airport, because there was practically hardly anybody checking in for Jet2. They were all EasyJet and British Airways and other airlines. Jet2 had hardly anybody checking in. And there were quite a few empty seats on the flight coming back as well, which is why the couple next to me moved across to the other side, which was fine because it gave me a whole row to myself. So, and I had a cup of tea and a sandwich and some crisps and a chocolate bar, because you get it like in a deal. So you get like half price chocolate when you have a hot drink on board the flight, but on the flight out, I pre-booked a breakfast. So you get your hot drink included. So it's always worth doing that actually. So especially if you're on a morning flight, rather than pay the airport prices for food, pre-book a meal with Jet2 on Manage My Booking if you've booked a holiday, and you can add a breakfast or even a lunch if you're going on a lunchtime or mid-afternoon flight. But generally morning ones you can order a breakfast, and they do vegetarian options as well. And all hot meals on Jet2 flights include a hot drink. So you can have tea, coffee or hot chocolate or water if you want that. But you're on a Yorkshire airline, why not have Yorkshire tea, which is what I have, and I've got that here. So, but for now, I just thought I'd do this little live stream just to update everybody on the channel. I went and got a new suitcase from B&M yesterday, because the other one, like I said in that video, the wheel was coming loose and part of the fabric was coming loose. And I thought, well, I don't trust this for the cruise. So that's now outside there under the trailer, ready to go to the scrap heap. But at the end of the day, it's had its day. I mean, I had the case on the last cruise in March, just gone, but I also had it when I went on Explorer 2 in October 2023. So I know I've had the case about 3.5 to 4 years. So I've had my money's worth, and it was around 30-ish quid. So I've had my money's worth, but I got this one from B&M. So, and it's 4 wheels. The other one was 2. This one's 4 wheels. It's just easy just to push it, and you can literally just put your finger on it and it'll just go. It's brilliant, and it's got the handle that you pull up as well. So that'll be for the cruise and any other holiday out to Dubrovnik, or any other holiday that I go out for longer than a few days, I will take that case. But I generally like to use the smaller black and white pattern bag for mini breaks, as well as my hand luggage bag. It's a lot less stuff to take, and you've got more hands free. So I'm more happy to do that. So that's the latest update I can give you on the channel. So please stay tuned for the videos that will be uploaded for the Dubrovnik series. All the episodes are on, all the live streams from Dubrovnik are on. I'll be putting all the individual videos on in the coming days. It's going to take me at least 9 days to put them on, because there's over 850 videos. So there's a lot of videos to come, and I'm sure I'll get lots of views, lots of support, maybe some new subscribers. And I always look forward to hearing your comments and reading them. I do always reply back when I can, and I'll reply back ASAP to any comments, as long as they're to do with what you've watched. Or any questions on travelling, don't be afraid to ask on any of the videos. Even if it's a random question, just ask it and I will answer it. But for now, please stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe at CarlSmith25, and I will see you guys in the next video. And thank you for watching, and good afternoon.